What's good, Raider Nation? Welcome to Monday Night Madness. The Raiders finally win and secure the number one draft pick. It was a good day. Welcome to the show, everybody. Omar, Arthur, April, thanks for being here. What a day yesterday, right? We already knew that we were going to have the number one draft pick before the Raiders started the game, so we were able to root for them to win in a rivalry game that people say doesn't matter, but it matters to me, especially in a rivalry game. And of course, the breaking news is that a thing that everyone probably thought they would wake up to today. Fired. Just fired, baby.
Yeah, yesterday was a double win day. I mean, we won the first overall pick and we beat Kansas City. I mean, it was a pretty gratifying way to end a very, very bad season. So, speaking to me personally, I was like, all right, even though, like I say, the season was brutal, but good ending.
Yeah, I thought it was win-win. I mean, going into that, knowing that we could win and still still have the number one pick was awesome. So, I mean, it was nice to be able to actually root for the Raiders and watch them go out there and play well. I thought, like I said, I saw a lot of good things again yesterday that I was super happy about. So, yeah, I couldn't be happier.
I wish I would have got the text
Hi guys.
way late in the evening, like at 1 a.m. That would have been more fun. But whatever.
Can you hear me?
Let's say Pete needed to go. And him getting all excited on the sideline.
Trouble with my
Hilarious.
internet.
Yeah, when I woke up this morning, I was like, wait a minute. I didn't see an announcement yet. I was kind of like looking for it. I thought it was going to happen last night, you know what I mean? But then a couple hours went by and next thing I know, there's the news. Pete Carroll has been fired. I mean, and you know what I got to say? I was surprised that he got fired because to me that meant he didn't just step down.
Right.
And that's probably was the conversation that happened this morning and why we didn't get an announcement last night is I think they were saying, hey, are you going to step down or do we have to let you go? And they weren't. And I think the only good thing about it was they weren't going to drag this out and wait long and do like what happened last year as they kind of drug their feet a little bit waiting on Ben Johnson. They were just like, I think they kind of want to get this search immediately. So it was like, you ain't going to do it. We're going to do it for you. Yep. And there you have it.
Do you think that Pete Carroll was surprised? And I asked this question because he looked very proud of himself and very excited after that game with the fist pump and the running on the field, like he was the man. So do you think he was just like, do you think it was a sigh of relief that he went out to win, or do you think he was maybe blindsided? Do you think he saw it coming?
No.
I think he saw it coming.
I think he did. Based on the questions in his press conference yesterday, the way they were asking him about whether, he was going to retire or that there was rumors of him retiring or possibly not coming back, and he was just kind of real non-committal and like, I don't plan to retire. Just the way he said that I don't plan to retire basically told me that he knew he was getting fired and they were going to have to fire him if they wanted him to.
Yep. I mean, it's no way you can come in as a veteran coach. You're brought in as a veteran coach and do worse than your rookie coach predecessor. I mean, with the tools you brought in. I mean, I'll go to what AP has said. He got his quarterback and his running back. Yeah. AP didn't get that and had this team looking better. So, I don't think at least it shouldn't have blindsided him. If it did, then we made a huge mistake in even hiring him.
Well, I think a couple of things. He did look very excited. I mean, your last game, why not? Why not be excited about a win? And then plus, I think you may not get something in your contract. So let me be fired and pay me if there's something in the contract that states so.
All right. Well, let's say what's up to the chat. Thank you, everybody, for being in here and joining us. Remember, if you want to take that mic and join the conversation, the link is pinned to the top and you can appear with us on camera. Remember, if you haven't already, light that torch, hit that like button, subscribe, and you can become a member. And thank you to our members that I see in the chat there already. These are some of our hot takes we're going to talk about tonight. So if you want to join the conversation on any of these or any of your own, please do. Like we said, the Raiders finally win. Pete Carroll fired. The number 1 draft pick secured. And I don't know what that press conference was with John Spytek. It was very coy regarding questions about the Mad Max trade rumors. And we'll get into that later in the show. If you're playing along with us tonight, the drinking game alert is Coach. I think we've said it a few times already. Y'all know what to do out there. So MG Raiders says, April with the fire background. She's here, baby.
Yeah.
Nice.
May I add that I love that you're representing the Oakland Raiders back there, too. Nice touch.
Right?
Nice touch. And then T. Severe, play well is a stretch, but they won, so that's all that matters. Exactly, yeah. The bar is low when it comes to what we expect the Raiders to do. So
playing well is relative.
A win is a win.
I mean, hold on now. 8 sacks. I mean, the defense had 8 sacks, 2 of them by Tommy Hemingway. A rookie got very little playing time. I mean, Tyree Wilson showed up a little bit. Caleb Rogers.
Yeah, he did.
I mean, a lot of the rookies looked good yesterday that haven't got a lot of playing time. So, I mean.
It was good to see Hemingway. Yeah, it was good to see Hemingway come with a sack. That was good, man. I'm hoping to see a lot more of that next year because we need it.
Absolutely. So, I mean, listen, it was well. I mean, like I said, did we put up a lot of points? No, but we got a win. And like I said, some of the rookies did some of the things that I've been saying all year that they could do. They just hadn't had a chance to.
I found the game entertaining.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just said that. It was awesome.
Yeah, I mean, you saw a lot of the rookies step up, but I just, without a touchdown, I really enjoyed the game. It was
the bar is low when the most entertaining game of the year is no touchdowns and a couple field goals.
Right?
It is what it is. And today is a great day, Raider Nation. Now we can focus on the future. That's right, and let's hope they make good decisions in the draft. And we're not gonna get too much into the draft today. We're gonna talk more about the coaching staff and things of that nature because we have all the way until April to talk about that. Patrick says, "What up, my Raider fans? What's good, my friend? MG's Raiders. Salute to you. Aphrodisiac in the building. What's good? Yeah, he didn't say what firing means. They got his remaining 2 years on the contract." Why don't we just bump into that right now, because the Raiders are going to be paying a lot of people on their contract. The number 1 job in football, maybe in America or maybe in the world, is to get hired and fired by the Raiders, because you can set off into the retirement sunset and still collect that paycheck.
Now, but I thought AP only had a 2. I saw this and I'm like, okay, I started kind of punching holes because it's still very good for conversation. But didn't AP second year? Wasn't this AP's second year on his contract? So for next year, shouldn't he be done? And also, shouldn't McDaniels be done as well next year? So I thought these first 2 would drop off. I have no idea about Gruden, because I thought he would have like a conduct kind of clause that was broken, which, and I'm not sure. I'm just, like I say, I'm unsure about this.
And by the way, everybody missed me with Gruden or Gruden 3.0 or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
I can't stand it. I cannot stand it. Everybody is like, bring Chucky back. Bring Chucky back. I'm like, oh my God. Do we not learn anything? Anything. Nothing.
I don't. Here's why I don't think that's gonna happen. And the one reason, and I'll say just 2 real quick. One is because Spytek stayed. You remember when the last 3 coaches got fired, the GMs also went with them. This time it's very different. Spytek is going to lead the search along with Brady. So I'm thinking now we are finally seeing Mark Davis relinquish this to say, here, you guys do it. And we know Spytek is Brady's homeboy. So, you know what I mean? So I think this time it's going to be different. And, we'll see. We will see.
Big numbers up there, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yep. A lot of big numbers. I mean, even if it is just the last 3, 10 million, 16, and 6. Right. I mean, that's a nice piece of change right there, that's going out the door for, coaches. But that also speaks to the conviction too, saying, hey, let's just say if he is doing a 50 million, in coach money, and he still don't care. Like, you know what? You were worse than the last guy. My bad. You're out. I don't care what it cost me.
Yep.
I'm not mad. I'm not mad if you got it like
get it right.
You know?
That's wild. The Raiders are wild.
Oh, yeah.
Like I said, keep after it to get it right, though.
Yep. I mean, and I think just like we talked about drafting a quarterback, keep doing it until you got a good one. I mean, literally, I hate to say that, you know what I'm saying? But I was down for Pete Carroll, and I've said that throughout the season. I was down, but my goodness, if I hired him, I would be like, I made a mistake.
Omar, that's because you be liking that purple drink. You be drinking that purple. You be down with everybody up in here.
Hey, when I work, I don't drink though. So if I hired him, I would have done it with a sober mind, and I would have had to soberly apologize for it too, because I did not think, and I still, you know what I mean? When we hired him, I was good with it. I'm thinking, oh yeah. You know, hell, Marshawn, everybody was on board in the beginning and drinking the Pete Carroll Kool-Aid after he was hired. There were some naysayers out there, and in Raider Nation, of course. But I think a lot of people saw the same fire in him, but something went, very wrong.
All right, we are going to shout out. Thank you so much, Aphrodisiac. We appreciate you. He says, please, no more Gruden. And thank you for the super chat. Much love, much love.
Yes,
that's Aphrodisiac out there from the Oakland Raider fan base. I always love shouting out my Oakland Raider fans. Just saying. They get a little love. Right. We love you all. All right, we have someone backstage that's going to join us here, so we definitely want to get their opinion on all things Raiders. Welcome to the show, Severe. What's good, my friend?
What's good? Can you hear me?
We can hear you, yes.
Awesome. Perfect. Shout out to you. Shout out to my guy. Just to add some context, I was just saying it was good seeing us win, but I wouldn't say that was a good performance. We saw good performances from certain guys, but I wouldn't call that, playing well. Not from even as low as the standards have been for this season. I wouldn't say that we played well that game. You're muted, bro. I don't know. Maybe can anybody else hear you?
Yeah. I'm just saying we played. At least we came to play. I mean, it's not what we wanted to see.
Exactly.
What does everybody always say? Win is a win, and AOC is the chief killer. I don't care.
Yeah. Settle down. Settle down.
Look, he did what needed to get done to win. So.
Yeah, 8 sacks by the defense. I don't care who the quarterback is in an NFL game. 8 sacks in an NFL game. I'll take that every week.
Oh yeah. I mean, like I said, the defensive line played well. I mean, some of the sacks were cover sacks, so you got to give them some credit for that. Like the Tyree safety, the running back literally pushed him out of the way of the offensive tackle that was trying to block him, making the path easier for him to get that sack. So there's context involved, but at the end of the day, like I said, a win is a win, and it was good to finish the season off on a strong note. And still secure that number 1 overall pick, and to get Pete Carroll out of here, who I said from day one should never have gotten the job. But sometimes you got to live and you learn. The Raiders keep trying to grasp onto, it's like the ghost of Christmas past. Like why are we like I said when we hired them, it was like getting a PlayStation 2 for Christmas. Like, bro, it's like we got PlayStation 5s now. Why are you giving me this PlayStation 2? Like, I don't want this old model. We have newer models. Like the Mike McDonald, that's the new model. Like Brian Flores will be the new model, right? But we keep doing this thing where we keep trying to grab on to pass. It's time to get the last time we had success as an organization that we thought was going to be sustained, we hired a young offensive-minded head coach over a defensive guy, right? We chose Gruden over Belichick, and we poached Gruden from another organization. Why not do the things that you've done in the past? I keep hearing fans say, "Oh, we don't want to tank." No, I don't call it tanking. I call it strategic substitutions, right? I would never tell a player to lose. No coach worth his salt would ever tell somebody to go out there and get That's how you cost guys money. That's how you get guys hurt. What you do is you play younger guys. Because what that does, that gives you an opportunity to evaluate those guys, and you let them go through, and you lose and get better draft positions. You kill 3 birds with 1 stone at the same time. But we've been reticent to do that for whatever reason. But we were still able to stumble and get ourselves the number 1 overall pick. But the last 2 times that we rebuilt our team was what? Reggie McKenzie. What did he do? He tore everything down, got rid of everybody. What happened? We went to the playoffs in 2016. We thought we had a real shot at being a competitive team for a long time, if not for a serious injury to Derek Carr. The next time we did was
hold on, but when we
traded
did
Amari
that, though,
Cooper. And what happened? We went to the playoffs, a few years later. So, why not do the same thing again?
Jack Del Rio wasn't a young coach, though. He was a second-time head coach. So remember that too. So
Jack Del Rio was a second-time head coach. But I'm saying, in terms of just rebuilding, I don't mind if it's an older coach if you have a plan in place and you understand that there's going to be some rebuilding that has to go on. What we did is we tried to, instead of rebuilding, we tried to reset and reload, and we're throwing good money after bad, and we keep doing the same thing where instead of just tearing everything down from we take it, if you're remodeling your bathroom, you just remodel the whole thing. You don't just pick and choose. If you're gonna do a full remodel or a full rebuild, just do the whole remodel. Don't tell me you're gonna remodel the kitchen, but you want to keep the stove, you want to keep no. If we're gonna do this thing right, do it the right way. And we just refuse to do it the right way. And I don't know why that is, but the 2 times recently we have done it that way, it has led to playoffs 2 years later, or 3 years. I think it took Gruden 3 years. It took Reggie McKenzie 2 years. Let's just do that again.
And I mean, I'll just add a little bit onto that, because with a lot of what you said, I agree with, because I've been mad that I don't think they even committed to the reload, because they kept $50 million in the bank instead of I've been crying how come you couldn't just add a few more million to the damn offensive line? I think it would have made at least another 3-4 win difference.
Yep.
So whatever they do, they gotta fucking commit to, you know what I mean? And that's all I'll just add.
Yeah, and I completely know what that showed me, and which I said from the beginning with some of the moves that we were making extremely early on, was that there was a disconnect between Pete Carroll and John Spiketek. Where John Spiketek felt that we should build this team a certain way, and Pete Carroll was resistant against that. And it seemed that Pete Carroll was at the epicenter of everything, right? I'm a UCLA fan, unfortunately. So I saw Chip Kelly offense. I saw what that offense looks like. I said immediately, we're not running Chip Kelly's offense. We've all seen a Patrick Graham defense. We all knew immediately we ain't running the Patrick Graham defense. We kind of knew, Pete Carroll was going to have a hand in that because of his background. But we are hiring Pete Carroll's children to the offensive staff. I knew there were going to be some issues there. And so it seemed that Pete Carroll was really resistant against the organization. And because he has a Super Bowl ring and has another Super Bowl appearance, he had some gravitas and he had some pull. We was able to but it's like that dog don't hunt. And I knew from the beginning that dog wouldn't hunt. And I knew because I know people that are Seattle fans that were saying, listen, we couldn't wait to get Pete up out of there. We love Pete, but it's like your grandfather. You love him, but you understand, Papa, you shouldn't be driving no more. Let us get you a nurse to help you out. And Seattle stuck him in the corner office and let him, shuffle papers and, gave him a little, basically a no-show job where he was advising. And that was cool. And that was the way to get him out of decision-making, but not disrespect him. But we brought him here when no other team in the league, outside of the Bears, was even willing to give him an interview, and we gave him damn near full autonomy. And it's like, why? Why do we keep making these same mistakes? So I hope this time we have a more comprehensive search, and every single candidate and we pick the right guy. Hopefully it's a young guy, but if it's not a young guy, have a plan in place, define where everybody's roles and responsibilities are, because having all these blurred lines where Pete Carroll's like, oh, well, they asked at the first press conference, who has final decision on rosters? And Pete was like, oh, well, we both do. Like, if both of you guys do, then that's not going to work. Yep. That's not going to work. It's like what they say, if you have two quarterbacks, you don't have one. The same. If you have two GMs, you have none. So have a defined role. Your GM should be a GM. Your head coach should be your head coach. Your head coach should have some input. Your GM should strongly consider that input and build the type of team that will be conducive to what your head coach and your offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator want to run. But your GM should be the guy that's picking the groceries. You can give me a grocery list, and you tell me tomato soup, I'll get you tomato soup. But don't tell me you want Barilla don't tell me you want Campbell's. Like, if Campbell's not on sale, bro, you're not getting Campbell's, right? I'm gonna get the right soup. I'm gonna get the right stuff. But I'm gonna be the one that's picking it. And so I think that's what we need to do. And like, we've been doing this going through these motions for far too long, and it's time for us to finally do things the right way. But I've been taking y'all time up way too much, so I'm gonna let somebody else get on. Somebody else want to get on.
No.
Hey, before you go, Severe, though, who's the top coaches out there that on your list?
I said before we hired Pete Carroll, my number one head coaching candidate was Mike LaFleur, offensive coordinator for the Rams. He's a guy that has, if you look at the two most successful coaching trees in the NFL, it's guys that coached under Shanahan and guys that coached under McVay. Those are the guys that's having the most success right now. Guess what? Mike LaFleur has coached under both of them. He's coached under both of them, right? And Shanahan with the 49ers, and he's with McVay now with the Rams. He's the guy that has a head coaching brother in the NFL that's having good success. He's obviously a bright offensive mind. He had the chance with the Jets, and I know some Jets fans, and they felt that they did him dirty, and that he didn't get Zach Wilson to play well, which nobody has as of yet. And so he was kind of scapegoated. Salah didn't want him going, and Jets fans didn't want him going. But because he didn't get Zach Wilson to play well, because they invested a high pick in Zach Wilson, they felt they needed to make a change there. But Salah, who's one of the best defensive coordinators in the league, who did he have as his offensive coordinator when he got his Mike LaFleur? Sean McVay, one of the brightest offensive minds in the league. Who did he have to be his offensive coordinator? Mike LaFleur. Like, that tells you a lot right there. So that's the number one guy on my list. And Mike LaFleur has a relationship with the recently fired head coach, Raheem Morris. And they work together in Atlanta. Raheem Morris also has ties to Ram organization. That's the easy fix right there as a guy. If you're worried about a young, inexperienced head coach, well, I kind of solved that problem by hiring a defensive coordinator that has head coaching experience and has a relationship, with me as well. So, and we see what the Atlanta defense looked like this past year. So I think you kind of killed two birds with one stone right there. My other guy, is a little bit less popular, but I like Brian Flores a lot. And I think he's kind of going through. He's almost like a Jack Del Rio kind of thing, where he had a tenure with the Dolphins. It didn't go well. But now that he's had a little bit of space and opportunity to kind of take stock of what he did there, reevaluate from those mistakes, and come back reinvigorated. He's worked with a great offensive mind and up there in the Vikings. He had that Vikings defense playing extremely well, and I think that there's a guy on that staff who I think would be a very good offensive coordinator for him, and Josh McCown, who also has some Raider ties, right? He's the quarterback's coach there with the Vikings, so I think you bring Josh McCown, or if you want to bring over Brian Daboll, that you can do that as well. I've heard some things about Brian Daboll where he's kind of a hard ass too. We all know that Brian Flores is a hard ass, so having both of those guys be the same kind of deal might be, a Josh McDaniels and the offensive coordinator, I forgot the guy's name, who we had last time, might be that same dynamic where you have two hard asses. It doesn't work. Sometimes you need that good cop, bad cop dynamic, and we already know Brian Flores is going to be the bad cop, so Josh McCown can come in and be the good cop. But I wouldn't hate Flores. I wouldn't hate Daboll, because we saw what he's able to do with Josh Allen.
All right,
do with
Severe.
Jackson Dart.
Thank you so much for your insight. We appreciate you, my friend.
Awesome, brother.
All right, man.
Cheers.
Appreciate
I
you
think I
guys. Have a
got
good
5
show.
drinks out of you. So cheers.
And here's the
Nice.
Omar. You found this list earlier. It's a little bit of an interesting list, I would say.
Yeah. And look who's right there at the top of that list. Brian Flores. Unlike Severe, Brian Flores, I think right now, I mean, you got to remember, I've already talked up our defensive coordinator. But Brian Flores, for me, is a very interesting prospect because just as I was saying, Pat Graham knows the organization. Brian Flores knows Tom Brady, who's trying to change the culture in the organization. Yeah. So to me, that's just a very interesting prospect. And then I saw him paired with Daboll as an offensive coordinator, and I kind of like that pair. I think that would be awesome. So, you know,
what is this culture change you speak of? What I miss?
Well, I'm just saying, as Brady and Spytek now seem to have the reins of this on the operational side of the organization, I'm just thinking, like I was talking about continuity with Pat Graham, who knows the organization. Brian Flores brings a relationship with Brady. So if there's some, like I say, culture change Brady is trying to bring in there, I think that gives Brian Flores that same kind of upper hand that I was talking about with Pat Graham. He also, out of his 3 seasons, he had a winning record 2 of his 3 seasons at Miami. He just bumped heads with the organization, and I'm thinking, well, because he knows Brady, that probably wouldn't happen here. So anyway, he kind of rose to the top of my list.
So I like the Flores Daboll dynamic. What I'm afraid of is I don't want it to be Brian Flores is the guy, and then we're going to thrust Brian Daboll onto him like Pete and Chip. Pete Carroll did not want Chip Kelly as his OC. Mark Davis had some affinity for Chip Kelly, liked him a lot, thought his offense was super inventive, and basically said, "We're hiring you as a head coach, and here's your OC. You guys figure it out." That's what I don't want again. I'm tired of that. We've talked about it many times on the show. I am ready to get to a point where there's a plan starting at the top, and it trickles its way all the way down, so everyone's on the same page. If Brady and Spytek are making the decision, then they have a plan. It trickles down to the head coach. The head coach is on board with it. It trickles down to his coordinators. He's happy with his coordinators. He builds the coaching staff he wants, and we start moving forward in the right direction. So if Daboll and Flores are on the same page and they're good with it and they're going to work together, and I know they work together in New England, and they're good with each other, then hey, let's go. Daboll, like I said,
what does that do? What does that do for Patrick Graham? Because I heard that they come in and they're just going to clean house.
Sure. Well,
maybe.
Yeah, most do. Yeah.
But I wouldn't get rid of that. But Patrick Graham's been through 3 coaches.
Right, crazy. The head coaches come in and they love Graham, so that could happen again. I don't know.
Keep in mind his contract's up this year, so.
Here's going to be the big question for me, I think, with this decision. It's going to have to be a coach that will presumably work well with the new rookie quarterback. Yeah. So which coach is going to be able to manage that and get this young man to be able to perform well in his first season, probably starting? There's really going to be nobody for him to learn behind. And if they don't fix the offensive line issues, which coach is going to be able to make this rookie good enough to survive in the NFL? And I think that's going to be a huge key. The coach and the quarterback are going to have to be on the same page. It's kind of like what we saw out there with Shador and who's the Browns coach that just got fired?
Stefanski.
Yes. So they were never on the same page, right? It was even a little cringe watching Shador in pressers kind of speak on it. So yeah, I think you're gonna there. If Tom Brady's the one that's going to come in and fix this with Spytek, they're going to have to plug these guys together who are going to be able to work well together, have the same game plan, hopefully execute, and the coach is going to have to know how to coach him. And I think those are huge issues. I get what Severe is saying, and he's not wrong, but I think they have to look into these nuances to really be successful instead of just looking at a resume if someone was successful on paper. We saw that didn't work with Pete Carroll, right?
Uh-huh. No, and it was a mismatched coaching team as well. So just as what what he was saying is that, hey, Daboll would be great only if Flores picks him.
Right.
You know what I mean? So Arthur is, spot on. And of course, what that should mean is a plan. And to your point, Spicy, about, what would they do to help a young quarterback? It's the reason why I love defensive guys, because I think nothing helps a young quarterback more than a great defense and a good running game. You know what I mean? I think that, and those are big time defensive philosophies. So that's kind of where I lean on. Most people say, oh, we need an offensive mind. Well, go ask Gannon. That doesn't work all the time. go ask Daboll himself, you know what I mean? As a head coach who was a good offensive mind, that, not all the time it works. You know what I mean? So it takes the right pieces all around a rookie quarterback for it to be successful. So
most definitely.
I think that Jackson Dart played better under Daboll.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you really want to look back at this season right now, when Daboll wanted to start Dart from the beginning, they started Russell Wilson for whatever reason. That was a debacle. Bring in Dart. He comes out like gangbusters. He's playing well. You're going to take your lumps and you're going to have some growing pains with rookies. I mean, with rookie quarterbacks, that's just the way it is. But I thought he played better under Daboll, and then they fire him. We all know that Josh Allen played way better under Daboll. So, I mean, if Daboll's the guy, I mean, if that's who we're targeting to bring in and groom whatever rookie quarterback we draft, I'm totally fine with that. But like I said, it has to be under a plan, and everybody has to be on the same page. You just can't be thrust upon Flores or whoever the head coach is going to be. It has to be within his plan and within his, they all got to work together. Like I said, Chip Kelly was thrust on Pete, and we knew it didn't work. And, Spear just said it. That wasn't Chip Kelly's offense that we saw. That wasn't Patrick Graham's defense that we saw. It's
no
Pete going in there and trying to put his imprint on everything, and it didn't work. And I don't want to.
And I love this comment right here. Let's address this comment by Aphrodisiac. He said, "I think the question is, and I agree with you, are the Raiders the most desirable destination for top candidates?"
Absolutely.
You want to address that?
Absolutely. I said it for the last month. The number one pick, the $100+ million that the salary cap's going to go up again, so we're probably going to be close to about 110, 120 million in cap space. The number one overall pick, just those two things right there make it the most desirable, because not only do you get to come in, you get to pick your quarterback or your guy, put your stamp on it. You have plenty of cap space. Hopefully you have a motivated GM that wants to rebuild it and that you can work with. I think I said it probably a month ago. This is the most desirable job now that we secure the number one pick.
And you know why it's the most desirable job?
I know.
Get fired and still make $10 million a year. You know what? Actually, maybe it's a strategy. Someone in the NFL looking to retire can come into the Raiders organization, win 2 games, then retire and still get paid.
No. I mean, I would think the only thing that would make the Raiders coaching position undesirable is if a coach doesn't like those 2 top quarterbacks in the draft.
Sure.
If I'm a coach and I don't love either one of those, then I probably may not want that job with the Raiders, and I'm probably trying to look at another team like the Giants who have a quarterback that maybe I do love. You know what I mean? Other than that, I think it is a really good job right now.
Well, I think if the money's right, you're going to learn to deal with those quarterbacks, whether you like them at the moment or not. If the money's right and everything else works out, I think you're gonna be the coach for that quarterback. Just saying, money talks. We all know.
Where opportunities for head coaching doesn't come that often, and you can, you know what I mean. You could ruin your career. So I think some of these guys may be a little bit more cerebral in their thought process. So I agree,
especially if they're younger coaches. Like a lot of these younger potentials are younger. They're in their 30s.
Yeah, but I don't think that's the case, though. I think between these two, between Moore and Mendoza, I mean, these guys I think they're both 2 good quarterbacks that can be good. I think a good coach with a good plan could, whichever way he works. If one wanted the highly more mobile guy, or one wanted one that was a more pocket passer with some movability, you know what I mean, depending on what you lean towards, I think one of these 2 can be a franchise quarterback. So,
well, this is my take on it. If they do not hire the right coach and they do draft Mendoza, that's going to get the GM fired, I think, because that is just too bad to sit. That I mean that you honestly, if Spytek wants to keep his job, he probably doesn't draft him because then you say you're rebuilding in the trenches, right? And then you don't have this. I hate to say this. Whoever's going to be is going to be a bust. But we've talked about this on this show all season long. You can plug anyone into that position, anyone, and they're not going to be successful with what's going on with the coaching staff. And I know they fired Pete, but I mean, with whoever it's going to be. So it's really, I just go back to it. They really has to gel whatever they decide. And they're in full control of it, right? It's not like they have to prepare for a backup plan at number 2 or number 3. And if this happens and if that happens, the Raiders are in full control with who they want to hire, especially like if Arthur's saying is desirable, who they want to hire as head coach, obviously what they're going to do with that number 1 draft pick. And then what are they? They're top in cap space. Yep. So they have all the control. They're holding all the cards. So if they mess all of that up, there's some really, really deep-rooted issues. Because with all of that in your hand, they should be salivating over there with all the control that they have right now.
Davis gave up the wheel. He's like, here, take the wheel. So
who's taking it? Who's taking the wheel though? They say Brady and Spytek, right?
Yeah,
that's
so you're absolutely right.
And I want to see, what is Brady going to do? You touched on this earlier, Omar, about him coming in and changing the culture and whatnot. Again, I'm not in the building. I don't know what Brady's doing, but it doesn't seem like he certainly hasn't done anything to benefit the team this past season. So what is he doing moving forward? I don't know the answer to that.
Well, I mean, to that point, though, I mean, Brady obviously wanted Vrabel, couldn't get him. He wanted Ben Johnson, couldn't get him. I mean, he did everything he could with Tom Brady or around him to try to bring in a good coach last year. I mean, I don't think Pete Carroll was even probably going into the coaching search a top 5 candidate. It just kind of worked out that way where it was like, okay, well, the coaches that we wanted all got hired already, so who are we going to hire now? So I mean,
that begs the question again, right? You just named several people that they couldn't get, but then you're also saying they're a desirable place to come.
Sure, but that was,
I know Spytek did make. I was going to say Spytek made one comment that I read that made me feel a lot better. Is that he was saying he's got to do a better job in keeping our free agents, and because he didn't do that last year, he let some of our guys go, and I'm like, thank God. I'm glad you realized one of your mistakes.
That felt like a little shot at Pete, too, saying that he wanted to keep some of those guys, but obviously Pete didn't want them because they didn't his, and fit into his system. And Spytek is kind of almost taking a shot. That's how I read it. Was a shot at Pete saying, "Look, we could have kept some of these guys, and we didn't. And I'm going to do a better job of that."
Yeah, I'm gonna hit the chat a little bit here, guys. Addie, what's good? Hello, everyone. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you as well. This conversation is going to be going on for a long time. Do the Raiders decide to trade down for more draft picks, losing that number 1 draft pick? And we can talk about that a little more in depth as well. Aphrodisiac says, Spytek struggled to explain how Brady can help if he's not in the building.
He was in the building today.
Yeah, Brady's in the building.
Yep. He was in the building today.
They sent him to do the firings. Mark was like, as part owner, your first order of business.
Fire somebody.
And just going back to the point of Brady not being able to bring in those guys, Brady wasn't able to bring in Ben Johnson or Vrabel last year because there was no quarterback. There was no one to come to and to coach. So if I'm Ben Johnson, I'm like Vrabel, I'm not going to one of those teams either. This year, like once again, having the number 1 pick changes everything. That coach gets to bring in his guy. I mean, if you're Ben Johnson, or you want to come and coach. I mean, we didn't even have Geno. I mean, you want to come to AOC, Gardner Minshew, you know what I mean? The quarterbacks we had, or do you want to go to Caleb Williams? If you're Vrabel, do you want to come and coach those guys, or do you want to go and coach Drake May? I mean, those were easy decisions. Now that we're giving that coach a choice and saying, look, you get, like I said, there's no variables here. We control everything. We have the number 1 pick. We have all this money. We have everything. We're going to build it your way and give you the reins under our plan. How can this job not be desirable?
Yeah, I definitely think the coaching position with the Raiders is a desirable one. I definitely like both of those quarterbacks. I've definitely seen worse go out in the first round. So, you know what I mean? And to have the opportunity, like I said, I'm a Mendoza guy right now and I'm looking forward to this more go head to head. Is going to be pretty awesome. And they'll be, give us a lot to talk about next week.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we did speak a little bit about the Raiders performing well in certain areas, so I guess we should give it up to our rookie running back. Single season scrimmage yards record.
With a bad line. The headlines are saying, even with this garbage offensive line, this kid still.
Oh my God. Literally. I can only imagine what he's going to do next year with better line, quarterback, coaching. Oh my God. He's nuts. I love that kid.
Yep. Hey, me too.
Yeah, that was a good pick. And that's what got me feeling really good about this draft, because I'd say last 2 years we've hit on our first round pick. So, and last year, guess what? Spytech made that pick. I'm still questioning Spytech's second round pick because I haven't seen enough out of Besh. You know what I mean? But let's just stick with the first round pick.
That's on Pete, though. I think that the small sample sizes that we've seen over the last maybe month or so in this draft that we just had, with Hemingway showing up, I think he finished the season with 4 or 5 sacks. Pegues with Rogers, Grant. I mean, even with the small sample sizes with Besh, and Thornton's maybe a little bit more raw, but I just don't think there was any continuity there. And we've talked about on this show enough to where these kids got to get in there and they got to be able to play Porter. I mean, all these rookies, I thought it was a great draft. I just thought that the small sample sizes that we saw, there was a lot of upside, but Pete just refused to play them until I think there was some pressure from Spytech maybe the last 3 weeks to start getting these rookies in there. And they shined. I thought Grant looked good. I thought Rogers looked good in the small sample sizes. Like I said, Hemingway, he finished the season with like 4 or 5 sacks. And it's very small sample size. So, once again, I thought that looking back at our draft, it was good. It just, we misused those players. We miscoached those players. Bring in a competent coaching staff, coaching the right system, and you're going to see all of those guys flourish.
Mm-hmm.
And now would you like to hear Spicy's theory on it? Listen, good job, Jeanty. I don't want to take anything away from him, but they force-fed that boy that ball yesterday.
100%.
Oh my God.
Even when they shouldn't have, they should have utilized 100%. Some other players, some other weapons. They were going after this record, in my opinion. They had a meeting and said, you know what? We want this man to have this record so we can prove to Raider Nation that we made the right decision in trading Josh Jacobs. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
They were trying to get him 1,000 yards. He was, I think, 112 yards away or something from 1,000 yards going into yesterday's game. So they were trying to get him 1,000 yards, and it was obvious, and I was okay with it. I mean,
I wasn't mad. Feed that kid. You know what I mean? And you still won the game. No harm, no foul in my book. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
get
you said it just like that, though. You just feed him, right? I agree with that. And we talked about that early on, where they should have been giving him – early on, they were giving him, couple touches, very few. So it's like, I agree, feed him, but spread it out and do good play calling throughout the entire season. Don't give him 3 touches in week 2 and then 45 in week 18.
Oh, yeah. They almost ruined his rookie season, and I thought it was great what they tried to do yesterday.
They tried to salvage it. They had a meeting. The memo went out.
Yep.
Yeah. If nothing else, we're going to take care of you, Jeanty, for sure.
Yep.
I'll take it.
Definitely. And to eclipse the last guy, I mean, we all liked our last running back and hated to see him go, but it was good that we drafted one top 5, and then hey, even he was the rookie bright spot. You know what I'm saying, of this season, because that's pretty much all we had.
Right.
Yeah, I'm in a little difference of opinion on that, because like I said before, nothing against Ashton Jeanty. I think he's great. I think he's going to be great. It just doesn't make sense to me to keep trading players that we have that are good in the position just so we can draft another player who is equally as good instead of building and keeping the foundations that we have. Like, it'd make no sense to trade Ashton Jeanty or Brock Bowers or Mad Max with solid guys
Just to
we
be in the
have,
hole.
just so that we waste draft picks to replace them for the same thing.
Right.
There's too many holes to fill
Right.
to be letting
And we see how
great
hard it
players
is
go.
and we got lucky with Jeanty. You know what I mean? To be to getting where he was, and for him to be worth that pick still. I mean, look how long we've been trying to get Mac an opposite end.
Yeah.
I mean, it is not easy to draft pass rushers, and I believe we've done it several times with high picks and have struck out.
Yep.
Say it again for the people in the building. It's not easy, so don't let him go. Let's
It's
touch on
not
that a little
easy.
bit, because Spytek was asked directly in the presser, basically, if they were going to shop Mad Max. And he beat around he was dodging and weaving that question. Basically, what he said was, I respect Max. I respect his talents. I respect his dedication. He's a great player, blah, blah, blah. Not once did he say that that's not what he's going to try to do.
There was never a no. That's for
There was
sure.
never even kind of a no. He didn't even answer the question.
No.
You would have thought the question would be, can you tell me how Mad Max is as a player and his character? You would have thought that was the question.
Yep.
He didn't even not say no. He didn't even answer the question.
Yep.
Okay, so I didn't see it. He was asked directly.
Yes.
Yes.
So it should have been a yes or no.
Yes.
Yes.
Sad.
Thanks.
And in my mind, that's worrisome.
Right.
I mean,
I agree.
that's a little worrisome, because now what are you saying? Are you going to leave it to the head coach? Are you waiting for that plan? And I'm sorry, but I don't think there's any plan in the NFL where you don't need a pass rusher.
Right.
So that's a little worrisome.
Well, and I've said it for years. You don't trade great players to get draft picks. You use draft picks to get great players.
Great players. Yeah.
That's it. That's
I
the
agree.
whole philosophy.
I agree. I mean, I think that was Al Davis's whole philosophy, right? He always tried to get, you know what I mean, great players on the team, you know what I mean? So,
Well, I think if that happens, there would just be an uproar. Everybody, I'm pretty sure, would be highly upset. And we might have to put your words out there on a poster and stand out in front and say, no, that can't happen.
Well, and honestly, if we're looking towards Brian Flores, you don't bring in a defensive-minded coach and then trade your best defensive player. So I would hope that Flores is going to come in and say, whoa, 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 whoa. I have a plan for this defense. I have a plan for this team. And Max is definitely part of it. So, yeah, he ain't going anywhere.
mm-hmm. And it could be a two-way street as well, is that they also want to see what Max feels, how he feels about the new coach as well. You know what I mean? Is Max going to – and I think Max – me seeing Max on the sideline yesterday, to me, people compare what happened to him with Carr. We didn't see Carr on the sideline.
Exactly.
We saw Max. Yes. And Max was doing his thing, cheering on his teammates, being what Max is, which is a leader. And I don't think there's a head coach or a head coach candidate in the league that wouldn't want that in his locker room. So
went around pregame and shook every single player's hand during warm-ups.
Was out there getting a little dance on. I saw
Squid, what is good?
He was.
My friend, and thank you for your membership. We appreciate your ongoing support. I haven't seen you for a while. I hope you're doing well out there. He says, hoping we go young, offensive-minded coach. We need someone to develop our young QB. Squid, if you're able to, use the link if you want. We'd love to hear from you, my friend. Nice to see you back here.
I just want to say to Squid, we all know he's in the service. And I've been thinking about you this last weekend. I hope you're well. I pray with you on your journey through this whole political, whatever's going on, however you want to believe. But Squid, I wish you well, and please link on to us and give us a chat.
Yes, sir. We'll keep going over these a little bit here. Severe says, it depends on how close you think we are to being contenders. If you think we're close, you keep him. If the timelines don't match up, his value is at its highest right now. Here's the thing. If they're ever going to be close, this is the closest they're going to be. Like I said, they hold all the cards. They have the money.
Yep.
They're going to have a coach that wants to come in to be able to choose his quarterback. They have the number 1 draft picks and 10 overall. That's a lot. That's a lot of picks.
Wow.
So if anything, I don't think his value is going to go down from one season to the next. So this season is not, to me, the season to make this move.
Right.
This season is to keep the great players that you have on this team. Leave that be because there's so much more to fix. What are they going to trade them for? Like you said, Arthur, what are they going to trade them for? More draft picks? More crapshoots? It makes no sense. It doesn't make sense to me.
No, and if you're a good GM, in my mind, you don't trade Max Crosby unless you have another good pass rusher already, and we don't. Right. He's all we got.
We still need one. We don't need to be looking for two.
Right. So hands down, Max should, you know what I mean? There should not be a GM in his right mind who got a guy under contract already, would even think about that without having one in the wings. That's the same thing I feel about quarterbacks. You know what I mean? Quarterbacks, pass rushers, and cornerbacks. In my mind, hey, if you ain't got one to replace the one who has all the trade value, you don't have enough to trade him. I mean, that's how I would operate, because why am I going to create a deficit in my team? I mean, you're just creating a hole that you already have plugged when you're trying to plug up other holes. So that's
Raider
just
Nation 510 says Max is getting traded as he approaches 30. Injuries are piling up. Yeah, fake injury. He's not faking it, but some bullshit injury that they put on paper. And value is declining. I don't know about that. This is a business decision. Well, guess what? Raiders aren't too good at making business decisions, okay?
See, I would disagree with that, because it wouldn't be a good business decision if you just now you got one hole in Max, and now you'll have two holes without Max.
Right.
Because, I mean, to me, that's just not a good business decision. Like I said, and you already have him under contract, and you have $100 million in cap room. You got one of the best. I'm going to repeat that one more time for everybody at home. You have one of the best pass rushers in the league under contract, and you have $100 million in cap space. You don't need to trade him right now. That would not be a good business decision.
I agree.
I agree.
I agree.
And I would just also really quickly like to bring give me a second to cue it up, because I just want to go over a few of the business decisions the Raiders have made. Let's just say, not necessarily thinking they're making the best decisions here. Franchises with the most head coaches in the last 30 seasons, Raiders are right up there with 15.
We win.
Right.
Woo!
15. So that's telling me that's a lot of bad business decisions. You know what I mean?
Literally.
I'm just saying.
Yep.
When you have to fire your we'll call it the CEO. When you have to fire your CEO 15 times in 30 seasons, those are not good business decisions.
No, and trading Max would just make it harder on the next coach.
Yes.
For real.
For real.
So is 12 average? I mean, 12 seems like a lot to me.
No, these are the most. This is the order.
Oh, okay.
This is not average. This is the next most.
Out of control. Okay.
Yeah, you're right. Aphrodisiac. Gruden did it too, though. Traded Khalil Mack, which I think was a mistake. Still think is a mistake. Without a replacement, people thought Gruden was a salary cap genius doing that. Well, looky here. Another great, non-great business decision, if you ask me. Severe says his value is high because you have him on a bargain deal for 2 years. After next season, you likely have to extend his contract or face a lame duck year. Well, I say sign him up for an extension. Oh,
We'll have the money you get next year.
all eyes on G. All it takes is Jerry to come with that 14th pick and a later pick, and Max is gone. What do you guys think of that comment?
No, never.
He's not going anywhere. That's
It sounds like, even if he does, that sounds like a terrible trade.
Nah. I mean, if we're going to do anything splashy, if we love, in my mind, if, we get our quarterback, and I would do like what Houston did. They got their quarterback, they paid and traded back up to get their pass rusher too. You know what I mean? Like, or if it's a tackle we like, you know what I mean? Like, if we're going to do some splashing and trading and dancing around, let's stack it. You know what I mean? Let's make sure we do it by stacking some young talent. You know what I mean? Because right now, that's what we need to do. We have a void. We got lots of money. Let's just get after it. You know what I mean? Let's stack this team with as many good players as fast as we can. That should be the plan. Like, how do we do this? And they figure that out.
All right, Raider Nation 510. If you get offered 2 number ones, you trade Max, no question asked. I disagree because I don't need a Jamarcus Russell and a Johnny Football. I'm good.
Right. You got 2
Nah,
1s,
man.
like a 3 for Khalil Mack, and it didn't do a whole lot. Like it didn't make that big of an
Nah,
impact.
man. I mean, to me, we got 10 picks in this draft. We got the number 1. We're the 4th pick, I believe, in the 2nd round. I'm thinking, hey man, we got 4 4s. I'd rather package a little bit up and jump back into the 1st round if we see somebody slides down that's in either side of the trenches, whether it's an offensive tackle or a defensive lineman that's a stud. I'm thinking, hey, fuck some of them picks if you got a guy and you know he's going to come in and perform for us, because we got to get better in the trenches on both sides of the ball, in my mind. So I'm not thinking about trading Max. I'm thinking about, in my mind, how can we just get more players at the top of this draft that can come in and make an impact?
Aphrodisiac asks, who keeps making these bad business decisions? Well, with so much
Everybody.
overturn, there's only one consistent. Do we all want to say it at once?
Mark Davis.
Mark Davis. Just like,
And he's impatient, and he knows it. You know what I mean? I mean, I always argue, hell, it would have been more beneficial to keep AP if he would have just been more patient and saw what he did. And now I would say definitely in coaching money, he would have been in a better position now, even if he made the same decision and said, okay, I'm going to, he had 2 seasons and didn't do anything, so I'm going to fire AP now. But I think his impatience has been part of the problem. And I hope, you know what I mean, that they get a plan and people learn how to trust the plan, you know what I mean, so that they can have a little bit more patience with whoever they hire next.
all right. Well, we're almost up on our time here. Any last thoughts from you? We want to thank everybody for sticking with us all season long. We tried to talk about the positives that there were. There weren't many. Thank you for being engaged with us. Thank you for always being supportive. Thank you for being on here. Everyone who supported us throughout this entire season, for your memberships, to your super chats, to your views, and to your likes. Remember, like that torch, hit that like button. Any last thoughts?
Well, I'm just waiting for the rest of the Carrolls to get fired.
Yes, I was going to say that. When are they going to go? Well, they got to go.
Who's next?
They're all
It
gone.
can only be one.
I think what I read, though, is they're not going to fire him. They're going to let the new head coach pick his own team. And so that'll happen with that process.
Right.
So,
Yikes.
yeah.
Okay.
My biggest thing is I don't want to be in a rush to go out and just make a splash and find a new coach. I'm hoping Brady and Spytek, they take their time, they do some interviews, they bring in the right guy. Like I said, we're not forcing an OC on a head coach like we did this last year with Chip Kelly and Pete Carroll. And just like I said, there's got to be a plan top to bottom, and everybody's got to stick to that plan. We got to build some continuity in this team and actually start building this so we can start going forward and maybe start winning some games.
I'll just say, I hope we get
Real
our
quick,
guy.
Omar, sorry. Hold that thought because I want to get this super chat in right here before we go. Thank you, Severe. Gifted 5 for life or Raider Story memberships. If you're not already a member, you can thank our boy Severe right here. He was just on earlier, had a lot of great things to say. Make sure to sign up to his YouTube channel as well. And if you want to claim those, there you are. And Aphrodisiac got one. We love that.
Nice.
All right.
Go ahead, Omar.
No, but what I was just saying is, unlike last offseason where, Pete Carroll wasn't their top choice, I just hope we get our top choice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Whether it happens tomorrow or if it happens weeks from now, I don't care. I just hope we get our top choice and not a backup plan again.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that we can really see what Spytek, the guy they choose in head coach, can really do. That's it. Get your guy. Whoever it is, let's do it.
Let's do it. Ow.
Yes, just win, baby.
Just win, baby.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to hang on a little bit longer here. Not too much longer. And anyone on the cast, if they have to go, they have to go. We're not going to go for 2 hours. We appreciate you. He's down for a 2-hour show. We are going to hang on
Come
a little
on,
longer.
let's chat.
We are going to hang on a little longer until those memberships are claimed. So We're gonna hang on a little bit more. Aphrodisiac says, if your girl starts acting up, then you take her. If your girl starts acting up, then you take her first.
No, that's right.
Raiders coaching search. Okay, that's interesting.
Is everybody playing the drinking game? Because I feel like I'm the
mad
only
with
one
that
screwing up
analogy.
here.
All right,
I've been
there we go.
trying. I've been
All right,
trying.
Right, I've just been drinking. I mean,
Yeah, pretty much me too.
I'm probably going to be up all night because I'm drinking coffee. It's great.
uh-oh.
It works. It works.
I just want to see the Raiders. I want to see the Raiders be great again. I want to. I mean, I hope they've picked the right coach. I really do. I really do, and I really hope it's sooner than later. And let this guy, like you guys said, it. Now that I look at it, it is a desirable place to come. You've got all this money, and you've got your picks on who's on the draft, everything. It's crazy. I don't know why coaches don't want to come here. I don't get it. I really don't.
What?
No
I
state
can tell
tax.
if you're being sarcastic or not.
No, she's being serious.
I want no state tax. I mean, that's a seller right there. If
Yeah.
you pick in between, if they're going to pay me $10 million in New York or pay me $10 million in Nevada, I'm like, shit, do you know how much more money I'm going to make out of that $10 million in Nevada than I would in New York if I'm just thinking money right now?
Absolutely.
And I got a number one pick and we got $100 million to spend. Hey, that's looking pretty good.
But this is what I heard. I heard there's no tax, of course, in Las Vegas, but also wherever you play, wherever you make your money, you will be taxed. So
that is true, but that is true, yes, as far as I know as well. But you're still paying half of them in a no state tax.
Sure.
Right.
And the cost of living is a lot lower. Like if you're in the LA market or a New York market, where are they saying who's the guy on the Rams? Puka, I think it was.
Yeah.
He's on like a rookie contract or something. I think after taxes, he's making like $300,000 a year or something. He's like, I can't even afford to buy a home in LA.
Yeah. True. Okay. Sold.
And and one thing too, I see a lot of people like, oh, we need an offensive minded. Oh, we need and I gotta admit, I like the defensive minded guys, but if you look at like a Jim Harbaugh, who's an offensive minded guy, he always has a really good defense. You know what I mean? Yep. So they are still hugely dependent, because I don't care how good you are at dialing up offensive plays. If your defense sucks, you don't have a good running game, you're not going to help a rookie quarterback. I just don't care how much of a quarterback whisperer you are. Right. So I think, and I guess that's why I like defensive-minded guys. I mean, if you look at Vrabel, he's got a young quarterback over there having hella success. Look at Ben Johnson, who's an offensive guy now, and he's got a young quarterback, and he's having hella good job over there. But both have really good defenses. Don't get it twisted. The Bears and the Patriots have really good defenses.
Bears led the league in takeaways this year. With an offensive-minded head coach, they led the league in takeaways.
Yep. So I get it. I get what everybody's saying, but we just saw who is that? Is that what's the guy from Arizona? Gannon. He was an offensive mind. He was offensive coordinator for the Eagles. And he just got fired in Arizona, and he had a quarterback that was if you look at Hurt, and you have, I think the other guy just a tad bit shorter than Hurt, maybe, and he was a first-round pick. I can't think of the quarterback in Arizona's name.
Murray.
Murray. He had they drafted a top number one wide receiver, a legacy wide receiver in Arizona, and still couldn't get it done. So we got to think that it's going to take a really good effort to turn this thing around. So let's just be open-minded to whoever they pick. They pick offensive-minded guy. Hey, I'm looking at who the defensive coordinator is. If they pick a defensive-minded head coach, I'm looking at who's the offensive coordinator is, because that stuff is going to matter. And then, of course, what we do in the offseason and the draft. So just, like I say, perspective.
Yep, and like I said, as long as they can coexist, that's the biggest thing. Is they need to be able to work together, and there shouldn't be any infighting with the GM, and the OC, and the head coach, the owners. It's all got to be one cohesive group that's working together.
Yeah. And hopefully they keep their word. I think Spytek said he's going to allow the head coach to pick his coaching staff. So hopefully he keeps his word on that, because then we will know it's a cohesive unit because the head coach picked his team.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we always say, get it, Omar. Get it.
Right?
That's his version of a mic drop right there.
I was just going to say that.
I should.
We always talk about these offensive minded coaches and these defensive minded coaches. I want a winning minded coach. How's that?
Coach. There you go.
Yes.
There you go.
And I just wanted to say coach a couple more times, even though you're out.
Oh,
on
yeah,
that.
yeah, that's
I
right.
don't know if you had a backup back there.
Yeah. And I'll quickly just, and I talked about Flores earlier. Another thing with being in Las Vegas, I think Flores is a disciplinarian. He kind of reminds me of like Coughlin. If you hear about the blowout he had with some players at the Dolphins and things like that, this guy's a disciplinarian. I'm not being in Las Vegas. I think those guys could probably use a disciplinarian. You know what I mean? So I would definitely not be mad. I think I already have a built-in bias here now with Flores. You know what I mean? Coming back and being a head coach again. So.
I agree. I mean, we need someone that's going to basically hold everybody accountable and make them do their job. So,
yep.
And that's what a Brian Flores is. He hates everybody. There is no. It's not like Pete where he's going to play his guys and only his guys, and everybody else is going to have to compete for playing time or whatever. Brian Flores hates everybody. He doesn't care. He hates everyone across the board, and he's going to make you work and make everybody work. If you're the kicker, you're going to kick field goals. If you're the punter, you're going to punt the ball down and get them down. If you're the quarterback, you're going to work. Everybody's going to be held accountable on a Brian Flores team.
Yeah.
I like that mentality. Everybody's treated the same.
Yep.
Everyone's
going to be held accountable.
I like that.
Yeah. I wouldn't be disappointed.
No.
I've also heard good things about, and a lot of people I've read about, is it Mentor? The defensive coordinator of the Chargers, you know what I mean? Even though this is first year in the NFL, I've heard, because he came from, I think he worked in Baltimore with Harbaugh. You know what I mean? But
with Harbaugh.
Yeah. So I've been hearing good things about him. Like I said,
those Harbaughs.
Yeah. I do lean Dinkin, so yeah. So
Is he on that long list? Let's check out the list again.
He's third down. Mentor is the third down. He's five. He got a 5-1 odds, man. Shoot.
How did Philip Rivers end up on this?
I think after they made like the top 5 or something, the top 5 guys, they started smoking a little something. I don't know.
Yeah, right. I know. I got to about 4, and then I stopped reading, and I'm like, wait, John Harbaugh, like,
right? He didn't fire yet.
I didn't even get down to Bill Belichick.
I'm like, he's still on the team. Sheesh.
KOC, he's still on the team. I mean, yeah.
I really hope the Raiders get it right this time.
April, I want to give you your moment to shine here.
Yes.
I want to give you your moment to shine because you had the best day of your life where your boy AFC, who you've been supporting for 2 years, he finally got to get in there and slide 1 yard short for the first down.
You know what?
You did not.
It's okay. You know what? And I got a lot of backlash on Facebook too for that. But you know what? The kid hasn't played since August. Give the kid a break. He did throw a clutch. He was doing a lot of play action, which I liked. I mean, there was a lot of run game, which was driving me nuts because everybody knew we were going to run the ball. But there were that throw before the kick. That 60-yarder, I mean, got to give him something. He threw it down the field, and they caught it. So, I mean, he looks a little bit different, but he's stale. He hasn't freaking played since August. I mean, I want to see him start next year. I don't care what anybody says. I mean, he's still got this whole entire offseason. I want to see him fight for it. I want to see that kid. He's going to be in his 3rd year. Let him go. Let him do it. I was happy to see him.
And April, I mean, you may be in luck. If I had it my way, I would draft Mendoza and I would sit him.
Absolutely.
And AOC, 100%. Because I don't see a lot of free agent quarterbacks out there that make me excited. Right. So a part of a plan that Brady and Davis would know is that, hey, we're going to start putting this thing together. But guess what? I want to draft Mendoza, our Heisman winning quarterback, potentially, even if he wins the whole national championship, I want to sit him. My goal is
that's what you should do.
Right.
That's exactly what you should do.
Unless the quarterback battle between AOC and some other guy we get off the streets, you know what I mean? Let's just say it goes the other way, and then let's see how we go. Now, and if AOC, let's just say if he wins whatever battle from the guy we get off the streets and we got our rookie sitting, he just stinks it up, then okay, I'm going to bring in my rookie.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because I don't have any other choice. But if I'm given a choice and AOC is playing decent, you know what I mean? So don't give up hope on AOC. And all the reason why I'm saying that is because I looked at some of the guys coming up for free agency and I was like, oh, okay, I don't see a lot out there that I'm going to sit there and be like, ooh, I can start with him, you know what I mean, over AOC. So that's just me, man.
I agree.
I mean, that's what it would appear to be. You know, you figure Geno ain't going to be starting. Who do we have? We have Pickett. I don't think he's going to start. Who knows what the Raiders are going to pull out of their bag with quarterbacks? But I do think that Tom Brady is conditioning AOC. I do think Tom Brady has a little bit of say. I think that Aiden kind of maybe reminds AOC probably reminds him of himself because Tom Brady wasn't anything either. And he wasn't a pocket quarterback and whatever. I don't know. I don't care. I love that kid and I'm rooting for him. And if he starts, great. If he doesn't, I mean, I kind of got over it. So, but I love him and I do hope he starts and I hope he turns around and I hope I could tell everybody in your face.
I hope so too, actually. No, and I actually really like him as well. And I would just trying to be funny. I really do like him as well. If nothing else, I think he's definitely solid backup quarterback that the Raiders.
That kid's got an arm though. He's got an arm. Big time. Big time. I like him.
Yeah.
So I'll write a letter. Let's see if I can get hired on to the Raiders organization. April, I got you. You have nothing to worry about. AOC will be in the building.
I'll be your assistant.
I'll sign that letter, Omar. I'll sign it.
Or trying to work one day for the Raiders so you can get fired and make a couple million in the next 3 years.
What'd you say, Arthur? What'd you say?
Of course, you're trying to get hired with the Raiders so he can work like one day and get
Right.
I'm with it. Oh no. I'll be like the stalker employee. They wouldn't be able to get rid of me.
I want to do like a reality show where you go to like the retirement home with former Raiders coaches who aren't still on payroll. And they just sit around and talk about the Raiders and their experience there.
They may just welcome. They may welcome you in.
So Raider Nation 510 says, unless Clint Kubiak is the HC, drafting Mendoza will be disastrous. I kind of disagree with that. I got to go back to my original statement. Whether it's a Clint, whether it's Mentor, whether it's LaFleur, I don't care which one it is. Without a defense and a strong running game, I don't care who the head coach is. It's gonna sink a rookie. Like I said, and I would sit a rookie in the first place. But let's just say we don't. He's gonna need a great defense and a running game to develop. Other than that, he's just gonna get killed. So that's kind of my thought.
I don't want a head coach. I don't want, we're bringing this. I want to build an entire staff because that's what's going to be is an entire staff. Like Omar said, whether it's a defensive-minded coach, an offensive-minded coach, we still have to have good coordinators around them. We have to have someone who actually coach up this offensive line. We have to have a good quarterback coach. We need to build an entire staff. And like I said, everybody's got to be on the same page about where we're going.
I mean, look at our guy and a perfect example of coordinators. Look at our guy in Detroit. He lost Ben Johnson. Yes. He lost the other guy to the Jets. He lost both coordinators, and they have struggled.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So, and he's a good head coach. But guess what? He can't do every job. You know what I mean? So it's a lot that's going to go into this coaching staff, and a good head coach has to be able to hire good position coaches. I mean, he does. He's got to be able to hire good coordinators. He's got to know. He's got to be the trainer's trainer. You know what I mean? Because I mean, it is. So let's not, like I say, let's look at the whole thing. Like I say, any of these guys who knows how to hire well will do well. So, and we won't find that out until they're a head coach. So that's why I don't get too stuck on one guy. You know what I mean? Clint Kubiak.
What I'm curious is And I agree that it has to be the right fit. And
Yep.
Raider Nation 510, I'm just curious if you could elaborate a little more. Why do you think him specifically? Is kind of my question. And Aphrodisiac says, "What are the odds of
Ooh.
Lance Kiffin?"
Oh,
Yeah, I did
Can
say
I-
Lance. If we all remember when Al Davis announced Lane Kiffin as coach, he called him Lance.
no, thank you. He just got a new job at LSU.
I
He's
think
fine.
he's kidding. He said that would be a reality show. I think he's kidding. Before we go, we do have one more guest backstage. We're going to let him sound off, and then we are going to get out of here. We have Rafa in the building. What's good, my friend?
Hey, how's it going, everybody? Rough in the
What's up,
building.
Rafa?
Hey. Talk to us.
All right. So between for the coaching, because I was waking up that morning and I was figuring it out about for the Pete Carroll situation. But it seems like he wasn't the guy for the job, obviously, because I do wonder coaches are going to bring him to the office, every coach that gets fired. I mean, even into their job will have a better resume than almost anyone bringing it next. I mean, John Spytek and Tom Brady better pull out like red carpet and someone to give that for at least like something brand new for the coaching, because I know there are some coaches with a lot of potential could be fit on this franchise, but it seems like they're having it close, but it's not going to be something really interesting because I wouldn't say it all, but he's late in the process and Henry should be, because the general manager should be picking the head coach and Brady what's something to help with the football operation side. But it seems like there got to be one person who makes the final decisions. If Brady isn't going to the full-time director of football operations, this could be the best case scenario. I mean, someone on the same page, let's by taking the front office, all the drafting decisions to Brady to do something, go for the more than a year between coaching changes. And I understand it about for the coaching changes because we don't know what could happen like the same stage right now, because that's a big no for Lane Kiffin, because we all know about the disastrous season coming up there, and I don't want it to see like all the disastrous coaches coming up there for the other season. So I just wanted to see young, really minded coach who brings a lot of discipline and, of course, much guarantee who knows it about for that game.
Yeah,
Agree.
I think it's what we all want.
Yep.
Well, we have you, Rafa. Let's comment. Maybe we'll have you comment or react, I should say, to this comment here. It's kind of interesting. Raider Nation 510 says, if you try to use all your capital to build this team around Mendoza, keep in mind these already elite AFC teams are going to get better. We're asking for too many pieces to come together. I think he makes a point. There are a lot of pieces to come together. Would you like to comment on that?
Oh, yes. I just wanted to comment out that because I understand there's a lot of Raider fans that just want to Fernando Mendoza because he believes in fate, a lot of football, family, because he got the if factor. He could be like the potential winner, because I understand, because there's all going to be like a full remote right now, because after we just saw between for that game on the Indiana Hoosiers on the playoffs of the college football, I mean, he just can't believe that. I just wanted to say, yeah, he's going to be like the perfect pick at all. The perfect pick, because I understand we got the number one pick. And I understand that we just wanted to do it. But some of the people that just wanted to draft in and all, the Dante Moore or Fernando Mendoza, but it seems like Mendoza, it's not like an embold statue he's been made it out to be. He can escape the pocket and still make plays. I mean, he's not going to be like a just Lamar, but it's going to be like a more mobile than Derek Carr. But people think keeping like a more athletic, but I don't see like it much of the gap, because Mendoza may play gaps with those legs every game and make throws in every game. But it seems like around for the cap space, you can invest in only one quarterback who's reliable for the skills. And of course, leave the rest of the cap space at offensive line, because that's where we need it.
Right.
I mean, I'll respond to that, though. I think one of the things we are seeing, though, is you look at Denver. It's easy to build a team if you have a good rookie quarterback, because you're not paying all that salary cap going to your quarterback on that second contract.
Yes.
Because right now we see quarterbacks getting what, 40, 50, $60 million a year. So when you have a good rookie quarterback, or let's just say a good quarterback in his rookie contract, it makes it really easy to build a team because you're not spending a lot of money on the quarterback position. You see that Houston's doing it. You see, look at the Bears doing it. Denver's doing it. Yeah. So I think building around a good rookie quarterback is really, really possible. I think it's even easier to do.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the hard part isn't building around one. The hard part is finding one. Is finding a good enough rookie quarterback that can lead your team. So if you can do that first part, the second part to me comes easy.
Absolutely. Patriots, 4-win team last year. Bears, 5-win team last year. Both turned it around. Quarterbacks on rookie deals. It can happen fast. It's the NFL. You can turn it around in a hurry.
And it's actually built. It's built to turn it around in a hurry. That's why the Raiders are sitting there with the number 1 pick, even though there are other teams with 3 wins, because they're very. The NFL has set it up so that the strength of schedule works that way, so that teams can turn it around very quickly. That's why the schedule is set up the way it is, with the rotating of the divisions and who each team plays. Like, it is meant for really no one team to stay at the top, and that's why becoming a dynasty is such a big deal and so impressive, because it is meant for overturn. It is meant for the weaker teams to come up on top. We just haven't been able to figure it out for decades, unfortunately.
Exactly.
But Rafa, before we let you go, is there anything else you want to say?
I just wanted to tell you, God bless you all. And of course, I know this 2026 could be the year of the full rebuild on the Raiders, because I just wanted to tell you, and I'm talking about Mark Davis. Please do not screw it up right now. And John Spytek, please do not screw it up for the first number 1 pick on the draft, because we've been dealing with a lot of BS over the last few years. But please do not screw it up. I just wanted to tell you, Happy New Year to everybody else.
Happy New Year.
And I'm very sorry, and I'm just very sorry that our football season is done, but the off season is coming up there. So let's just invest the offensive line with the free agency, and of course, let's get ready for the number 1 spot at the NFL draft, because there is only one nation. Because there's another teams who gotta try to copy us. But there is only one nation. That's Raider Nation. Raider Nation.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right. All right, Rafa, thank you so much. We appreciate
Thank you, Rafa.
Thank you.
Happy New Year.
All right, much love to all of you in the chat, everyone that appeared as well. And of course, much love to you, Omar, Arthur, Mother Maroon, and April, for being a part of this show and this cast. Couldn't do it without you. I think we all have our unique opinions. We're a great team together, and I appreciate all you. All right, Raider Nation, we go out one way and only one way.
One way.
Red way!